Business owners struggling to find enough staff despite millions of Americans still unemployed. Job openings reached 9.3 million at the end of April, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And as of June 11th, job postings on hiring website Indeed are up 29%. So why are so many positions going unfilled? Economist at Indeed Hiring Lab, Ann Elizabeth Kunkel, and economist at the Economic Policy Institute, Ben Zipperer, are here to help us break this all down. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Elizabeth, I want to start with you. A dozen states have now ended unemployment benefits prematurely. Several more are set to follow suit in the coming weeks. How are those extra benefits contributing to this worker shortage?
So I think there are a couple things that are affecting labor supply right now. Certainly, there are the federal unemployment benefits, but we can't forget that we are still in a pandemic. I want to be done with the pandemic. Everybody wants to be done with the pandemic, but we are still in it. There are also childcare challenges. And together, those three pieces, the fact that we're still in a pandemic, childcare challenges, and federal UI, come together, and all of those different pieces interact. And that may be contributing to what we're seeing on the labor supply side. I will note that in states where federal benefits are ending imminently, job search activity on Indeed has not spiked relative to the national trend. So that does push back on the idea that federal benefits are the sole reason of what we're seeing right now.
And Ben, the states that are out there cutting these benefits early, they're arguing that the economy's improving. As we just heard, a lot of companies, big and small, looking for workers. So this extra money is no longer needed. People can go find work. You've said that's not quite accurate. Why?
Yeah, that's not accurate. And I think I would also place a little less emphasis on the unemployment benefits being the problem. In the states that have decided to prematurely and possibly illegally end unemployment benefits early, so it's about 25 states, like you said, a dozen states have already done it. Those states, before they ended benefits, they actually, had recovered employment by about 70% of their shortfall, but they still have about 30% of a gap to go. So there are a lot of jobs that, are out there, but, vaccine hesitancy and, basically the big shock of the pandemic is still going to linger and, cause job growth to be a little slower than we would like in the coming months.
And Ann Elizabeth, which industries are looking to hire right now? And where are you seeing the reverse? People either still making job cuts or at the very least stagnant?
So on Indeed, we're seeing plenty of sector differentiation. For example, production and manufacturing as of June 11th is up 76% compared to its pre-pandemic baseline. Loading and stocking is up as well. I kind of characterize those as sectors that are, making goods, moving goods. At the other end of the scale, we have sports-related jobs, which are up only 2.2% compared to their pre-pandemic baseline. And one that still has not passed its pre-pandemic baseline, hospitality and tourism. That one I expect to only see, really fully recover and get into those double digits once we have business travel and leisure travel fully recover.
And as we hear employers complaining about how hard it is to find work, what kind of incentives are some of them coming up with? And are you seeing any patterns where it's working?
As of last Friday, 4.1% of job postings on Indeed are advertising hiring incentives like signing bonuses, retention bonuses, cash incentives. And for some context, that is more than double compared to last July. So employers are really looking to get creative and just find different ways to attract job seekers. And job seekers are noticing because job searches for hiring incentives are up 134% compared to this January.
And Ben, this may sound dumb, but maybe one of the issues is that the employers aren't offering enough money. If people would prefer to get paid by the government rather than employers. But I know that the Economic Policy Institute, where you work, we saw this report you put together about the benefits of raising the minimum wage, saying that more than 2 out of 5 child care workers, for example, would make more money with a $15 national minimum wage in 2025. But What about the parents that can't afford to pay that and stay out of the workforce instead? Is that an issue that might contribute to less people going back to work, fewer people?
Yeah, I think all of those issues are relevant. In particular, in the sectors that are claiming that they're having the hardest time, finding people to work, they are actually, like leisure and hospitality restaurants, they actually are seeing very fast employment growth. About 3/4 of all jobs created in the last or taken in the last 2 months were in leisure and hospitality. At the same time, one of the things that's holding further job growth back is the very low wages that are paid. It is true that employers are thinking very creatively about how to hire workers. But one thing that they're not doing is, that we don't have a lot of evidence that they're doing, is that they're not actually raising hourly wages so much that we actually see it very clearly in the aggregate data. In fact, the Atlanta Fed puts out a wage tracker, and it doesn't seem to show, kind of like an overall acceleration in wage growth for people who, already have jobs. So, that to my mind is a signal that we're still kind of in this, reallocation struggle of the pandemic where, we're finally able, with enough vaccinations to kind of provide enough support and security that people are, looking for the right kinds of jobs. But it's going to take a number of months before we actually see, employment levels, closer to pre-pandemic levels.
All right, economists Ann Elizabeth and Ben Zipperer, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.